piece of blue, come heroin. With several sons who light the way when each day begins. And I'm just a risk atop of the moon. When I swore I'd seen everything, I saw you.
For me personally, working in the studio with Ross was pretty enthralling. Just seeing the level of excitement and commitment on his face when he was like just really feeling an idea or a song. It's pretty infectious as a musician and as a songwriter. Right before we would do like the take, he would bring Jeremy in the room to sort of walk us through the song and the lyrics and how that played out.
You know, obviously Jeremy's lyrics are very personal, and in the past, we haven't had the conversations of, you know, where these songs were going lyrically until it was done. So to get the context of where each song was headed and what it was expressing, it kind of fueled everybody in their performance and their intention. And it just made the whole experience extra personal for us as people who create together.
In the past, it's like I've heard it, I've internalized it, and then that's what it ends up being about to me. Whereas I got to hear it from his mouth, and then people could ask follow-up questions, and we would actually talk about it and like really get into what everything actually meant. It just kind of forced everyone to be vulnerable, and I do feel like in the end, we all feel a little more connected to the song.
It was powerful because just to face him and being so vulnerable, you know, and I think everybody was there for each other and supportive. So when there was something that was, you know, he was opening up and sharing something, I think we were all immediately like wanting to back him and like be the best bandmates, you know, we could be.
You know, I have my own explanations to what I think certain lines mean, but hearing Jeremy articulate them in the room, music brain is thinking, okay, great, I'm gonna use this energy and do a great take. And art brain is firing like, I wanna start jotting down ideas, and I'm getting so inspired for like drawing tangents between different things I was thinking about and wordplay and how to represent that for the final record. I have an idea of the mood that I might want to conjure, but it's not until Jeremy puts lyrics to the pieces of music that I really start connecting dots. A lot of what I did going into creating the visuals for the record was a lot of experiments. The Lament cover was sort of born out of one of those experiments. I was trying to, in the earlier parts, connote this sort of pessimism versus optimism. Like we were coming off of a little bit of a high from our last record because we think it was perceived really well by our fans, and sort of that internal pressure of what to do next, both like a milestone we feel really proud of, like how do we create music that's as good as or better or different in a way. So it's sort of that internal struggle of optimism versus pessimism. So that's sort of where you see the typography sort of, if you're looking at it one way, descending out of the ground or sinking. And that sort of like harsh shadow and the shards it creates, I think creates a little bit of like tension in that way.
Working with them was all positivity. Also trust in knowing that everybody had like a internal voice that guided them through, you know. Whether they're spiritual people or not, they're guided, they hear music.
It's so interesting because the five of us all have five very distinct musical tastes, and I think on this record, that full spectrum really comes across. So yeah, I hope there's an appreciation for the eclecticness of it. I think that in some ways this might be the most eclectic one yet.
You know, I don't necessarily go into anything too drastically with the expectations of what the listener's gonna get. I still stand by, you know, once a song is out, it's not mine anymore. What matters to me is that it's the songs that we wanted to put out and that we feel great about. And once that's out, it's the listener's decision at that point with how they're going to take them.